Hello everyone, it is Sal here. A very warm welcome back to my channel. So today I am super excited because I am actually doing my first ever tag video. So the theme of my tag is Send the Town Red. So in this video I'll be showing you some beautiful red perfume bottles that I have in my collection, but also I'll be showing you some fragrances which, like, the smell itself reminds me of the colour red, or it kind of gets me in that party mood and makes me want to scent the town red. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first beautiful red perfume bottle from my collection is this wonderful Dior Hypnotic Poison. It's so unique a fragrance, like it has that very distinctive Play-Doh kind of smell about it, which I personally love. It's very, very womanly, very sensual. It's rich and dark and kind of warm with that toasted almond feeling about it. It also has these interesting other notes in there like plum, giving it a slight fruitiness, but in a very interesting way. This fragrance is just so one of a kind. It is beautiful, and not to mention the bottle. It's probably like my favourite bottle maybe from the Poison line, just because it's so gorgeous. The next fragrance I'm going to talk about today is the wonderful NARCISO Rouge. So this one was a blind buy for me, and it was a very successful one because I absolutely adore this scent. So this one of course has your signature Narciso musk in there, but it's a very kind of a clean musk, which I think it kind of is in all of his fragrances really. It's a clean white musk, but this one is a bit different to the other ones in the line, I think. This one is a little bit powdery. It almost has something a bit cold in it, if that makes any sense. It has some iris in here. It's got a really nice heart of rose in here, and I think that the rose is really quite noticeable in this fragrance. And something different about this one again is the fact it has vanilla in here. So this is a powdery fragrance. It's very, very musky. It's quite clean smelling, but it's rosy, floral, and slightly vanillic as well. You definitely get that rose. It is a beautiful red rose in this fragrance. Very noticeable, but the thing I quite like about this one is it is not your typical rose whatsoever. So this is a very modern fragrance. This smells very, very modern. It is not like old-fashioned in the slightest. So the longevity is pretty good on this one. I would say this is more or less the same sort of longevity as all of the Narciso fragrances. I would say, I mean, on me they last pretty much all day. I would say maybe 7 hours, that type of thing, but this is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. The next fragrance I'm going to talk about today is an absolutely beautiful one. It was another blind buy actually, and it was a really, really successful blind buy. I've mentioned it quite a few times throughout my channel. It's an absolute gem, to be honest with you, and that is none other than the beautiful NUIT TRÉSOR à la FOLIE. So this fragrance is from the NUIT TRÉSOR line, obviously, but to me it's like the most different one, kind of. Like, to me this one really doesn't retain any of the NUIT TRÉSOR DNA. This one smells completely different. This one is smoother, it is slightly more fruity with the kind of red berry notes in here. It has benzoin vanilla in here, and it almost reminds me a little bit of baking. So things that spring to mind with this fragrance is baking, mulled wine, sort of like almost Christmas, like a Christmas market, Christmas baking, that type of thing. There's some light spices in this fragrance mixing with that lovely sweet vanilla kind of accord in here, and it just gives this overall very unusual, unique and stunning smell. The next fragrance I'm going to talk about today is this beauty here. This is Dior's Poison Girl. And as you guys probably know by now, this is one of my favorite fragrances. I adore this one so much. I think it is so unique. It is like an almost sweet and sour kind of contrasting fragrance. So it's very addictive. It has that kind of tang to it that just makes it so Moorish. So I think what kind of creates that effect is the fact that they have actually bitter orange in here, mixing with the sweet notes like your orange blossom and your rose. They also have lots of vanilla in here, some sandalwood, cashmere and things like that. They all blend together beautifully, as well as the almond. The almond is a very important note in here as well, which gives it quite a lot of the thick, cloudy, wonderful texture that this one has. This reminds me of getting all dressed up and going somewhere nice for dinner or for drinks, that type of thing. I absolutely love this one. It's so feminine and it's so kind of girly and like flirty. I also really like what they did with the new reformulations. So the juice is actually a lovely rich dark red colour, which I think kind of marries up better with how it smells than the light pink juice, although that was still very nice. I just love the very dark, rich, vampy look that this bottle has. The longevity on this one is really good. I tend to spray a bit more of it though, just to get like more longevity out of it. I don't think I was spraying enough of it at first and it wasn't really lasting. I couldn't really smell it on myself, but I think that's because I was only doing maybe like one spray on each wrist. But now I just sort of like spray maybe 5-6 sprays of this and I'm good to go. So this fragrance is wonderful. That is the beautiful Poison Girl. Next up is this wonderful fragrance. This is Guerlain's Black Perfecto. Now, although this doesn't really come in a red bottle, to me this reminds me of the colour red. And the reason for that is the rose in here is so realistic smelling to me. It really reminds me of a fresh, beautiful, luscious red rose. So that is one of the most prominent notes that I find is in this fragrance, along with your beautiful sour cherry, your almond and your leather as well. So this fragrance is very much to me like a nighttime fragrance, a party fragrance, although I wear it whenever anyway. Like I wear this during the day as well, of course, but just the mood that this one evokes to me is very much like a dressed up vibe, a beautiful like biker chick type thing, and it definitely makes me want to scent the town red. Next up is an extremely flirty fragrance, you guys, and that is Juliet Has a Gun. This fragrance is really addictive, it's kind of powdery, it's almost of a similar sort of effect to Hypnotic Poison. It has similarities to that fragrance. If you've seen my dupe video, you might have already heard me compare this one to Hypnotic Poison, but this is very much kind of unique in its own way as well. So this has notes of thick kind of dripping caramel, but it has a soft sandpapery powderiness to it as well. It's got raspberry in here and sandalwood as well, and I think that the sandalwood just balances this fragrance really perfectly. It stops it from being just too juvenile and too sickly sweet. I think they've balanced this out really, really nicely, and it's just very kind of sweet but in quite a grown-up way, if you know what I mean. Very, very enticing. The longevity is really good. This one lasts a nice amount of time and it projects as well. I just think this would be kind of the ultimate like date night fragrance. If you're going somewhere nice, this is the kind of fragrance that I would choose for that situation. I also really like the bottle that this comes in. I think the look of the bottle matches the smell very well. And overall, this is just a brilliant fragrance. So that is Juliet Has a Gun. Next up is a relatively new addition to my collection, and I am absolutely loving it, you guys. This fragrance is like totally mind-blowing actually. And it is this wonderful one here. It's Kenzo Flower Elixir. So this is like an intense version of the original Kenzo Flower. I'm pretty intrigued by that fragrance as well. I've heard very mixed reviews on it though, so I'm not sure if I'll be buying that also, but I'm loving the Kenzo line so far. And this is an absolutely amazing fragrance, you guys. Like seriously, this one is like a very, very dark, mysterious, rich evening kind of fragrance, I would say. So this has prominent notes of kind of praline. It's quite gourmand, but in a very grown-up way. I would almost go as far to say that this sort of smells niche to me. Like I don't have a huge amount of experience with niche fragrances, to be honest with you, but from the ones that I've smelled, or even some of the more really high-end fragrances like Tom Ford, that kind of thing, I would say this actually fits in no problem with that sort of genre of fragrance. Like that is the league that this fragrance is in to me. It is really, really amazing, and this was actually pretty affordable. I got this from All Beauty. It's like a UK discount website, and I got it for like a pretty good price as well, and the smell of it is just amazing. Like the quality is great. Oh my goodness. This one is like a really thick, like dripping, dark syrup, if you can imagine that. It's like almost a bit maybe boozy, or maybe if you imagine like a syrup but with some incense in there as well. It's dark, like it's a dark, mysterious evening fragrance, very sweet but in a grown-up way. The lasting power is amazing, it projects really nicely, and I just adore this fragrance. This is seriously the type of scent I would reach for if I wanted to get noticed, if I wanted to make a statement and just feel fantastic. This is the fragrance I would reach for without a doubt. Next up is a fragrance that, although it doesn't come in a red bottle, it absolutely makes me want to scent the town red and party. And that fragrance is the iconic, the wonderful Rihanna REB'L Fleur. This fragrance, you guys, is really quite crazy. This is just so in your face. This is like so unique. It's like a dark, rich cocktail. This reminds me of like a mango, really alcoholic mango drink with some darkness about it. I think it's got some passion fruit in there as well, if I'm not mistaken. And it's very, very seductive, let me tell you that. This one is very womanly. This is definitely the type of thing I'd reach for if I was going out for drinks. This has a very prominent kind of coconutty smell to it as well, but it's nice because I wouldn't say that this is limited just to summer. Like this to me is like a really nice all year round fragrance, and it would be really particularly nice to wear during the night time, I think. For a celebrity scent, I think this is fantastic, you guys, seriously. This doesn't even smell cheap to me. This is just so flirty and kind of fun. It's like, it reminds me of a fun night out dancing, having just a great time with not a care in the world. It's that kind of fragrance. I will be talking more about this one in an upcoming haul video that I have coming for you guys next week, I think. It does remind me of the colour red, the smell of it. It reminds me of fun nights out on the town, and actually the box that it comes in has a lot of red in it, and I just think it is absolutely wonderful. So that is Rihanna's REB'L Fleur. And lastly, we have this fragrance here. So this fragrance featured in the my most recent haul video, actually. So it's the wonderful In Woman Red by REB'L. So this comes in a beautiful, striking red perfume bottle. And the smell of this fragrance is just extremely versatile. So this has kind of pink pepper top notes, rosy heart notes, as well as lots of other florals. It is quite a clean, feminine floral fragrance. I love reaching for this one for work, but equally it wouldn't be out of place anywhere. So you could wear this on the night out without a doubt. It's just a very clean, beautiful, floral, feminine smell, basically. Really, really nice, just a very pleasant smell, quite mass appealing, I would think. So I think this one is meant to be a dupe actually of Armani Si Passion. I haven't actually tried that fragrance, so I can't really comment on whether or not it's that similar to that fragrance, but I do enjoy this just as a scent in its own right. I'm really impressed by REB'L as a perfume house, as I've mentioned in my previous video, and this fragrance is really, really lovely. So absolutely everybody is welcome to participate in this tag. I would love to see like as many of you guys do this fragrance tag, but just to start things off, I do have some channels in particular that I would like to tag myself. So those beautiful channels are Paola Bianca, Clemens CC Fragrance, Maria Colette, Lala Da Beauty, Rebecca Calazzo, Maisie A, Fab Trends by Mia, Deborah Day, Chantel Tiffany, and Moon Perfumes. So I would absolutely love it if you guys could participate in this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will see you all very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.